Okay, so it's Jackie. I'm back again with another journal. This seems like quite a marathon to me, and I've managed to film 3 videos on the photograph setting instead of video, so I had to do them all again. I'm not sure, I try and sound my natural self, but sometimes it's quite difficult doing that on here. Molly's feet are in the way. So this one is TN sized. It's actually a bit bigger. It's 4.5 by 8.5. I've made it fully loaded eclectic style, inspired by Sheena at Luna Rosa. Less grungy than hers, more in my style, I suppose, but definitely inspired by her. If you go and look her up, I'll put her link below. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. She's pretty amazing. So let's start on this one. I've used, as I said, I think Stamperia paper. The spine is strengthened a little bit with some canvasy fabric. So this is built up onto cards, so it's a little bit, it's like chipboard really, and some old lace. In here we've got a front pocket, and I've used Tracy Fox labels throughout, amongst other bits of vintagey papers and things. This is an envelope from 1954 which I've split. I've made a pocket on this side, put a little journal card in there. I put some collages on the back of some of these things. I'm doing that for a while. Carol at Oak House Journals does it beautifully, and I'm always impressed by her collages, so see if we can get somewhere close to that. This is from 1952. It's an original document, and I've used a postcard. I presume, if I remember rightly, it didn't have any writing on this postcard, so I've used it as a pocket, and these extra bits I've stamped and put this on myself. I've got a pocket made from an old gardening book on this side, and a journal card. I've got some pocket pages with flower fairy images in. I haven't slotted that all the way down, partly to help it close, but also so that the greens sort of flow across the page, all the different greens, which I quite like. This is baking paper, tea-dyed baking paper over an image, and there's a page from a magazine, a 1920s Good Housekeeping magazine in there. Oh, and a bishop on the other side. Dear, didn't sound very nice, that man, but this side is quite nice. Put some stitching around some of the pages. This is from an old encyclopedia from the 1800s, late 1800s, and little ladybird charm on a snippet rolled tab. This is a vintage birthday card. There's a flower fairy in there. I just stitched along the bottom to make it into a pocket. There's a bit of collage and some vintage lace on this page. A die cut and one of Tracy's labels. This is ledger paper from the 1920s and some seam binding. I buy a lot of my seam binding from Splattered Inky on Etsy. It's Tim Holtz. This is a job reference from 1957. You can see my collages here. That's not a pocket, it's just decoration. Little unicorn. This is from the 1888. Yeah, 1888, and lovely writing. This is a short page, and this is a genuine cabinet card and library card. Again, this is just scrapbook paper with a little bit of fussy cut image on there. This is an old book page. This is some vintage lace. This is from a children's book, and I put it in because of the colours really. This is from 1962. And this is again from that 1920s Good Housekeeping magazine. It's some quite interesting reading. This is an advertisement for some kind of salt remedy. And then on the back we've got a health questionnaire. This bottom one I thought was quite sad, because it was recommending smacking your children, but of its time, and sort of quite interesting, I guess, in its own way. But thankfully, or hopefully, things have changed for a lot of children. Not all children, but for a lot of children. There we go. I think I sounded a bit sad then. I don't really feel sad. I'm filming this at the beginning-ish. The UK is not in lockdown because of the virus, but we are isolating and trying to be extremely careful, and life has changed dramatically in a week. So it's a bit unsettling, but I'm quite introverted, so staying at home's not a problem for me. In fact, I quite like it. This is from the paper pack. It's a bit more of that seam binding and stenciling. This is a pretty postcard. It's a French one, and that one, that one is stamped on the back. This is just a pretty book page from Edith Holden, and I've popped a handmade tag on that, just so that, I don't know, just because I could. I've probably seen somebody do it. I'm really sorry, I'm not sure who that would have been. It's more of that napkin decoupage. I did that on the other side. I'm not sure if I pointed that out. Not sure where it was even. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh yes, here on the Edith Holden centre page. It's a bit more of that. It's that ledger or snippet roll. This is from an old 1899 magazine. Got a flower fairy in this one. The blues this time. And on the other side I've got an old photograph and a library card. It's getting a bit chunky, this book now, so it's not sitting quite flat. This is from an image from an old 1800s gardening book. The centre was cracking a little bit, so I've reinforced that with washi tape. You can see this natural foxing on here. I shortened it to fit, and then just took the name of the plant off and stuck it on there. And then this one, we've got another flower fairy. I haven't poked that all the way in, again to help it close. This is our back page. And the back of that envelope, and a pocket on the back there. So that's a blue one. I can't think of a name for this one, but thank you so much for joining me. And I think I said it in the first of these videos that I'm filming, but again, I really hope that you're all able to stay well and as happy as possible through this this period in our lives, unprecedented crisis as they're calling it. So thank you, and I'll see you all again soon.